In order to explain our relations, my mother was Anna Bissett. Her next older brother was Charles Bissett. He, located in Parkersburg, West Virginia, was a landman for the Eastern Oil Company. There was an oil boom. Charlie was securing leases for this oil company. His wife became ill. They had two children, Marie and James. Their mother died, and Charles is left with two young children, Marie about 15 and James about 12. Charlie tried to get help to keep his family together. It didn't work out well. He arranged to have Marie go to a sister's school and James to a Christian brothers' school, live-in arrangement. For vacation time, my mother and Uncle Charlie worked up a plan. James and Marie would come to our house for vacations. So vacation time, Jean and I have a brother and sisters. It worked out well. The sisters that ran the school where Marie went also ran a hospital and nurses training. Marie completed high school and went into the nurses training, but having her summers and vacations at our house. Marie was a year or so older than Jean, and Jim was about 4 years older than me. When Marie was into nurses training and on vacation here, she would often go with Dad when he made a sick call. He thought that was great. Jim and I played catch, used the old swimming hole, and had a good time together. As he got a bit older, he became sweet on a girl, Bessie Monhan. He arranged for me to stay home. We were good pals. Marie finished high school and was in her last few weeks of nurses training. She contracted tuberculosis. She had a lot of treatment. She survived about a year, but died in a sanitarium in Arizona. Jim by now was finishing high school and had a year of college at Notre Dame. Uncle Charlie had remarried, but Jim and the stepmother couldn't get along, so he came to be with us. Uncle John Bissett had opened a garage and auto sales business in Bradford. Jim Bissett went over there, had a try at selling cars. He did pretty well, gave it a good try for about a year. He had a buddy in Tulsa, Brownie, who got lined up with an oil well supply company. He was doing well. He got Jim interested, and Jim left Bradford and went to Tulsa with Brownie and the Continental Supply Co. He got married to a Tulsa girl, Betty. I can't remember her maiden name. Very nice person. They were a very happy couple. Came to visit several times. After a year or two, a big oil boom happened in Texas. Jim and Brownie opened a supply place in Fort Worth. It was going strong. They were doing well. A lot of business, hard work, long hours. Jim got sick, was a few days at home, then hospital. He died. Brownie bought Jim's half of the business, and Betty went back to Tulsa to live with her sisters. About the time Jim Bissett went over to work for Uncle John Bissett, Lionel Bissett, who was the son of my Uncle Richard Bissett, who was dead, was working in the garage. He came down with an attack of sciatica rheumatism. He lived with his widowed mother, Aunt Mamie Bissett, in East Bradford. He went through quite a lot of treatments. Our Uncle Walter Bissett arranged to bring Lionel over to have my dad look at him. Dad arranged to have Lionel stay with us to see what he might do for him. Mother arranged another bed out in my room. Sleepy Valley. Biss and I are roommates. He was with us 2 or 3 years. He got better, but somewhat crippled. He could drive a car. Dad was having real trouble with the car. Biss drove Dad about for a year or so. During this time, Uncle Wally knew Biss would never be able to work in the garage, so he made plans to have him take a business course in West Brooks Academy in Olean. Biss drove Dad on the house calls mornings and went to the West Brooks Academy afternoons. His health was improving all the time. He always would be somewhat lame, but got about very well. While this program was going on, Dad was getting more and more confined to the office practice. He almost was giving up house calls. Along about this time, a lady, Lila Wheeler, bought a car. She hired chauffeurs, found trouble with two of them. One of them was stealing from her. However, it happened Lionel became the chauffeur for Mrs. Wheeler for many years until she died, and she left him a nice purse when she did. She did that for all the help. Jean and I had a good cousin, Buddy. We were always good pals.